everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, as you can see right in front of me, I have finally finished the Tamiya 1/14 scale Volvo heavy tow truck wrecker here. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I started this up, we'll just call it a few months ago. I had some difficulties getting paint and some stuff and kind of put it to the side and decided now it's a good time to pull it out. During the holidays and all that was kind of hectic because there is a million parts inside this kit. It's a lot of fun to put together, but you really got to be paying attention because there's bag after bag after bag after bag of screws. So if you want to see what all that stuff looks like, go take a look at the preview video that we first got when we first got this in. Man, there's a lot of stuff. So we've got it all painted. I haven't done any of the markings on the side yet because the ones that come with it just say like Hall's Trucking and Tamiya and stuff, and I didn't want to put that all over it. I'm going to try to have some vinyl decals eventually made up myself that'll say Andy's Hobby Headquarters, of course, and put that across the side. But didn't want to delay the video any longer, so we're going to put it out just like this, which it looks really, really cool just the way it is here. And it's got everything on here that we can actually lift other Tamiya tow trucks if we want, or some other kind of things on it. In fact, go ahead. This is actually already on. Let's. That is just, I love it. The vibration, the sound, everything. Air brakes constantly going off. Big old truck horn on it. This is really, really cool. So let's turn this bad boy off just for a minute so you can hear me there. So this is not going to be a super long video. We're just going to show you how the rest of this goes together. There are 2 other videos showing the chassis and all that get assembled that if you want to, go watch those as well. If you like this kind of video or like the channel in general, please go ahead and smash that like button. It really does help us out. Also, if you have any comments, leave them down below. So especially on all these new videos, I try to read all the comments that come through. Some of the videos from like a couple of years ago, I don't always get to the comments, but on the new stuff, we always try to on it there. We've got not too much to show you in the build part, but it's pretty exciting, I think. And then stay tuned to the very end. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I think the title kind of gave it away. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, let's get started. So let's jump back into this build. I know it's been a few months, and this is obviously where we left off on the build. We had built up the entire chassis. All the electronics were hooked up in here. This is the MFC unit, which is the brains of this truck. It was an aftermarket add-on from Tamiya that controls the lights, the sound, vibration, all that kind of stuff. And we'll show you all that stuff once it actually gets completely built up here. We have the vibration unit right here, which is basically a motor with a offset weight. So it spins up when you start the engine on this. And it shakes the whole vehicle like a real truck starting up. We have our sound in here, which is controllable with the knobs here. The battery pack is inside there. All of the servos and motors are installed inside here, so that was all ready to go. And as you can see here, I also had most of the panels painted up. Now, I used TS16 yellow from Tamiya, and that was one of the things that held us back too. Was at the time there was and there actually still is quite a bit of certain Tamiya colors were a big time shortage, and I started spraying this with that TS16 and then ran out and then was not able to get it from any of my distributors for quite a while there. And then we did get it in again, and then I have to admit, then we went into the busy time of the year, so I just finally decided I'm going to start back up on this and get this done up. Now, this is not going to be like a normal build video where you're going to show every single bit of the build. I'm going to show you some of the components. In fact, the first thing I want to show you is the actual cab that I started putting together right here. Now, we've got to do some more work on it here. And as you can see, I've mounted the speaker into place there. And what this piece is right here, this is just a piece of cardstock painted black. And I'm going to show you why we did this. We've got our roof up in here that we've installed, some of the lighting and things inside there. And when now the wires all push behind the black thing. But the sunroof on this, if you don't put that little black card in there, you can see the speaker. And I think it looks kind of funny like that. So as you can see, we've got some of the things put together. Now, here, there is a panel that in the instructions calls out what I thought were decals, but it turns out they're stickers. So I decided I don't want to put those stickers on in there. So I've gone back over and remasked off all of this, and we're going to paint all of this area in here black, which is what we did on this side of the vehicle. And then we can install the side mirrors, all the other pieces on it there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this painted black, and then we can show you how the inside of the vehicle, like the dash and all that, is going to get put into place. There are some lights that I've installed. This is the thing I was a little disappointed about, and I might have to try to change this later on. There are 2 LEDs in here and 2 LEDs in here. And after I installed them, I was reading the instructions, and it says you have the ability to either put them here or in these top lights up here. And I just thought, that's kind of funny. You would think that they would have at least given us lights for all 8 bulbs. It'd be kind of a cool show. I do have some really small LEDs. They might be actually, looking at this, it might actually still be a little bit too large for this. But I will try to, in the future, to find some LEDs to go in here and run the wiring down. May have to hook up a separate battery. We'll see if it can actually hook up to the MFC unit, or it might have to just be its own little unit. But it'd be kind of cool to have these spotlights come on and then all of these spotlights come on, as well as all the other lights. Now, you can see I've jumped a little bit ahead here. I've attached some of the pieces too before we paint that other piece. We've gone ahead and put this chrome plating on, this sun visor, the mirrors, which are made up of a, oh, maybe you can see it in there. They're made up of kind of like a chrome colored plastic. You don't have to paint them at all, and they really do add a nice reflection onto it there. So let me go ahead and get this painted up right here, because that's the main thing that's prevented me from putting the mirrors on. And we were just using regular Tamiya masking tape for this, and then we can show you how the inside goes together. Okay, I've gone ahead and done the black for the trim inside there. We're going to let that dry, and then we'll polish it up nicely. But we've also gone ahead and painted the areas of the clear glass, which is, this is the side window right here. That needs to be also painted black from behind. And we did that also on the little window for the back there. And actually, here is the other side of the mirrors there that I was telling you about. See how the that chrome plastic really has a nice shine to it, and of course that'll get glued on. So I'm going to let this fully dry. We're going to go ahead and polish it out a bit, and then we'll put the windows and the side mirrors on, and then we'll show you how the inside of the cab goes together. Okay, we've got the side windows on and stuff, and you can see in this area here too, you're probably looking at it and going, why is that flat black and the rest of it's glossy? And that is because there's a ton of panels that cover up all these things. I was looking at it and that looks weird, but now we can go ahead and put the dash in. The dash is basically going to slide up inside there. There are 2 bolts that will hold it up inside there, and the 2 seats will get put right into place right here in the actual cab. They will get screwed, or actually glued, right into the chassis there. And then once we get the dash in, we can go ahead and attach this once and for all. And there are 4 screws that come up from the bottom that attach this on here, just like this. So I will get this chrome piece installed, as well as all these other things. Make sure those wires are tucked behind the sunroof. And then I believe, I'll have to check again, but I think it's when we install it actually onto the truck. Okay, I've gone ahead and put some of the stickers on here. I know in the beginning I wasn't going to, but for things like the Heavy Rescue, they're very, very thin stickers. And then I thought about the real vehicles. They're all actually usually stickers that go on there too. High quality stickers, but they are stickers one the same. They're not actually hand painted usually on the truck. So now that we have this portion of the truck ready, it'll basically go into the front here and then slide down over the front like that. And there'll be 2 screws that we put right here in that'll hold all that into place. And with that portion done, I'm not going to attach it right now because we have to hook all the wiring up on it. But that gives you an idea what it's going to look like inside there. Now we can start building all of the components and the component doors that go on the side of the vehicle. I've gone ahead, as you can see here, we put all 3 of the side pieces, the boxes basically, on either side of the vehicle. And I've gone ahead and I've hooked up all of the electronics to run the boom in the back here. We have the limiter switch here, and there's one underneath there as well to keep it from going too far down or too far up. We put the box in here, the electronics box, and initially it calls out to put it inside here, but I found that the battery cable doesn't seem to want to reach that far, so I just moved it over into this little box in here. We still have our up and down switch, which we've mounted in here in the right spot, because that actually has a little framework that goes on it. So we've got it hooked up here, and let's go ahead and see if this is going to work now. And as we get to the very bottom, the actuator switch hopefully will turn this off when it's supposed to. And there it is. That's the stopping point. I had to make a tiny little adjustment on it because it slightly lifted up the back wheels a little bit. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to do it, but I didn't want it to do it that way. So we've made it so it'll stop right when it hits the ground. And then technically we could back this right up and lift up another RC truck. Now, with that being done on here, I've gone ahead and started to secure some of these cables. We'll fix all that up. And we can start to put on these side panels just like that. They get screwed into place. And I'm going to first get this top one on. And then we can work on all the bottom ones as well. I have put on most of the paneling, as you can see right in here, and I've also assembled the upper lights here as well. Now what we have to do is I have to go ahead and put the rest of this anti-skid all the way down the line. Now it's all the way on the back here, and in this case Tamiya has given you stickers for this, but as you can see here, it actually is textured, so it works out really, really nicely to put as the anti-skid all the way down the line. So I will go ahead and finish those up. Plus also I've assembled these back panels that will just get 3 little screws that'll glue that in there, and that will have the tail lights on them too once we put the wiring inside for that. And then we need to make all of the little hatches that will go right in here, and each one of them requires a little chrome handle that we need to screw onto the back, and then each one of them will open. So this one will open up to get at our battery compartment. These two will open side to side. This is to get at the electronics inside for the boom in the back. And this is kind of just like, oh well, other than this, there's on the other side there's nothing in it but just some empty storage. So this side does have that little up and down knob on it there. So I am going to go ahead and get these two things screwed on, and then I will start working on the doors. And the way the doors go on too is once you get them up, you put these up in the air, and then you can kind of just go into and put the screws. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to do because it's very wiggly when you try to do that. But we'll take some time and put all that on, and then after that I can go ahead and start putting all the reflectors. And the reflectors will go on here and cover up all the screw heads that are inside there. So let me go ahead and get all that stuff done, and then I'll show you the next step. As you can see, I've got most of the panels put into place here with the little magnets on them there. We can open and close them just like that, and I'm working on those. Decided to take a quick little break and start to build the front end of this vehicle. And we've got all of the wiring put into place. And since there are so many wires we need to attach now, plus also we have all of the lighting for the light bar and stuff we need to attach, I've unscrewed the top of this here. And we're going to take this and just put it off to the side here, just like that. And then we can go ahead and attach this to the front of the vehicle, run all the wiring and cabling through, and then hook it all up to the MFC unit here, both the rear lights as well as all of these lights. And I did do all of the little tags on it here, because without that, trying to figure out which one was which would have been a nightmare. So this way it makes it easy to plug right into the back of the unit. It is going to be a touch difficult only because it's kind of a tight area to get in there, but I think it'll be okay. So what I'll do here is we're going to get this screwed into place, get all of the wiring hooked up, drop the cab back into place, and then I can go ahead and start finishing up all of these panels. Plus the reflectors we put on the side here. I just put one screw inside each one just to get them on there to show you guys what one side looks like. Also, I use the red and white stickers on the side here to create the you know, the warning symbols there to pay attention to that. So those are in place. And actually on the other side they're complete, as well as the rest of the area going around too. So let me get that attached and we'll show you the next step. So we've got the lights hooked up and I've reattached the top here. So let's give it a shot and see if we can get all the lights to work. So let's first turn it on. And okay, the emergency flashers work. We'll leave those on. Now let's turn the first. Okay, there's all the spotlights. The upper top lights there. Main headlights. We can turn all the lights up on time. This is also a way of telling what gear you're in too. So you can either leave all the lights on, or you can leave the lights only to come on as the gears change. So I think we've got all of the lights on. Now remember, there are no extra lights in here. I've purposely have left the clear lenses off here in hopes that maybe I might be able to find some more spotlights. I'm not sure what I'll do with that yet, but it's looking like all of the lights are ready to go. So what I can do now is, you can see here, I've started to put the antennas on. We'll get all the antennas. There's some more mirrors on the side here and a few other little accessories. I'm going to get all those glued on right now. And here we go, guys. Here is our completed model. As you can see, I've gone ahead and put the antennas into place, the horns, the metal transfers that say 750 and also Volvo on there. I've also put the reflective tape down the entire side of the vehicle. And of course, that caution tape is now on both sides, just like we talked about earlier. A few things. First of all, it did come with some stickers to fill in this area here for a guy named Hall's, you know, heavy rescue company, and I didn't want to put that on there. What I'm planning on doing, and I didn't want to delay the video in this case, my wife has a Cricut machine where she can cut vinyl letters that stick. So I'm going to see, using Photoshop, if we can come up with like an Andy's Hobby headquarters badge or something else in here to fill in all of these little areas. Something to make it a little bit more personal to myself here. So now that I have this, obviously the main thing you guys want to see, I'm sure, is having a drive. One thing I'm going to try out too is I have my phone, which is what I used to film the YouTube videos on, and this stand that has all these flexible fittings. I'm going to see if I can attach it to the truck so you can get like a driver's eye view of what it looks like driving around my store. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So, what'd you think of that, guys? It was pretty cool seeing the drive around. Now, I haven't obviously figured out all of the things that this thing can do, because there's a stack of books probably about an inch thick between the instructions and then all of the commands that it can do. But it gives you kind of an idea. But it's a very, very cool Very, very cool truck. Now, before we let you go on that, you can probably tell by the title on this video as well. Right off the top, I immediately put that on the ground, start driving it, and I put it right into one of my racks on accident. Just clipped the corner and put a crack right through the windshield. I couldn't believe it. I had the thing down on the ground for a grand total of like maybe 5 minutes, even before I started filming. And I just happened to catch the corner of one of my magazine racks on accident. I had put it down and was fumbling around with something, hit the button, and it hit right on the edge right there, missed all of the other bumpers and stuff, and cracked it. Now, it's not super, super bad, but I immediately noticed it, and it's really irritating that I did it, before I even had it broken in completely. But I know that these windshields are replaceable, so eventually down the road I'll probably get another one on there. I might even try pulling the whole thing apart again and using the smoke color to smoke the inside. I wanted to do that anyway because you can still see the back of the MFC unit, or I'll put some plastic card or something inside there. But that was frustrating to crack it so quickly. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video there. If you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Let us know that you like it. If you have any comments, leave them down below down there. I do read most of the comments, especially on all the brand new videos. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys as always for watching. And please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.